All right, hello everyone, welcome back, and we have our catcher tier list. Anyways, Austin Nola is pretty trash, I believe.
I think he's okay.
Austin Nola he had a bad year, but
I think he's average.
Yeah, actually, I agree. Buster Posey, even though he's retired, when he retired, he was still, I think, an all-star. Christian Vasquez had a terrible season.
God.
Yeah, he was awful. He has not had that great of a career. Honestly, he's below average. Carson Kelly got off to a great start this year, but really didn't finish it off that well. Part of that Goldschmidt deal, which hasn't worked out awfully for the Diamondbacks, but, I mean, he's just not that great. I think he can sit in the average category, but barely. Danny Jansen is not very good. The Blue Jays have Moreno coming up, but they need catching. So if he doesn't work out, they're going to have to go get a catcher. Cause
they also have Kirk.
But Kirk and him are just not that good.
Yeah.
They're not going to slide. But he did have a solid OPS. He had a solid OPS, but he's just not that great. I think he is an average catcher as well, but the Blue Jays can improve. Diaz is, he had a good last year, but he
wasn't great. He was below average even last year.
Well, yeah.
I don't think you can put him in I think he's going in below average.
Yeah. Gary Sanchez has had a very, very interesting career. However, I can't really see... I see him as a good player. I see him...
I've always thought he was severely overrated.
Same, but I think that...
I still think he's a good player,
I agree.
I
think he's good, but he is overrated. Jorge Alfaro he's had... He honestly is pretty trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, and McCann, I think an underestimated player. I don't know that much about him, but I don't hear much about him, but he's not bad.
McCann?
Yeah, James McCann.
I think he was supposed to be like a good young catcher, but he hasn't really panned out. Has been bad in his career.
He is a below average catcher, I would say. JT Realmuto, and he's a superstar.
Yeah, he's maybe at this point I think he might be I think the best defensive catcher in the National League.
Well, actually, I think Stallings is.
Maybe, yeah. And he is a very good
offensive catcher.
hitter.
So, Jacob Stallings, he has had pretty average, he's had below average career numbers, but his fielding is incredible, and I think you could still give him average, but he's not that great.
Yeah, he's
Jose
trash.
Trevino is definitely trash. Yeah. Mitch Garver. Yeah, it is actually really good.
Yeah,
he's an underestimated player. He doesn't hit a lot of homers.
He does strike out,
but his OPS plus in his career, 124.
He actually had a year where he hit a bunch of homers, 31.
Yeah, I honestly think this is an all-star player.
Yeah, Garver is good.
Garver's very underestimated.
Maldonado is interesting. He has absolutely horrible numbers, but he is an amazing defensive catcher.
Yeah.
And I think pitchers really like
however, look at that OPS. 573 this year and 638 in the career. I think you still got to give him trash.
No, you can't put him in trash.
Okay, I'll give him below average just because fielding is important for catchers, but he is not very good.
He is okay.
Stassi had a good last season.
I think he's also good at fielding. I could be wrong about that, but
I think
Stassi, you can give him average.
Yeah, I think Stassi's pretty average. That's about it. Zunino had a huge year last year, hitting 33 homers.
138 OPS.
His career has not been great, but for a catcher, it's been pretty average.
Yeah.
I think you can give him a good player.
Yeah, I think you can. And he's a good defensive catcher, right?
Yeah, he's pretty good. Narvaez is another underrated guy. He was not great last year. He's put up solid numbers for a hitter, not just a catcher. He's put up solid numbers for a normal hitter.
I don't know how his defense is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really not sure about that at all.
I don't know how great he is, but he's definitely good. Is he? Yeah, I think he's just good. I don't think you can call him an all-star yet, but he could reach that level. Pedro Severino is pretty awful. I mean, he's a Oriole, so...
Rutschman is going to be taking him over soon, obviously, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I mean, his numbers for a catcher aren't
inevitable.
That bad. He's below average. He's not awful, but it's inevitable to see. Berto Perez is the whitest guy named Perez ever. He is very bad offensively. He's good behind the plate, but 564 OPS this year. Negative WAR. You can call that trash.
Yeah.
Murphy is good. He's an underrated player. His OPS plus
really
for his
handsome.
career is incredible for a catcher.
He's so handsome.
Or not incredible, but it's good for a catcher. He is definitely a good catcher. And now, probably still maybe the best catcher in the league. Definitely the AL. Sal Perez. Tucker Barnhart, another guy who he's got pretty average hitting numbers for a catch, actually below, but he's just not very good. I don't think you can call him trash, but
he's a good defensive catcher, so yeah. I think you can put him in below average.
Yeah. D'Arnaud was hurt for most of this year. However, I like D'Arnaud. D'Arnaud, I believe, is pretty good at fielding. He has a career OPS that's good for a catcher. And, I mean, even though last year he was very hurt, I think he's definitely still average. I honestly think I think he's good.
Yeah. Who's that?
I think Luis Torrens is his starting, is really the starting catcher of, I mean, I've seen him start more games than Tom Murphy. So I don't know how updated that is. Yeah, Murphy.
Only 277 at-bats this year. He was pretty bad.
I don't know if you can put him in trash, but he's below average.
Yeah. Let me look at his defensive WAR. It was it was 0.6. That's actually not that bad for such a short year.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he's in below average.
He's not awful because he's a pretty good fielder, but yeah. Wilson Contreras, one of the last functioning Cubs, is a good player. I think he's an all-star. Yeah, he's an all-star.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd go as far as saying he's a top 5 catcher.
He used to be a lot better.
I don't think he is, but he is just outside of it. So, yeah.
He's
Ramos.
Ramos used to be a very good offensive catcher.
Mm-hmm. Ramos is a career OPS of 750. Catcher's great, but this year it went all the way down to 646. Negative WAR. His fielding's not great. I mean, for a competitive team next year, Wilson Ramos is in danger of losing his job.
He really looks like a tiger, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, he is in danger of losing his job, and I think he is below average at this point.
Amazing.
Will Smith is honestly...
He's probably the best
offensive catcher. He's right up there with JT Realmuto. I don't think he's there yet because he hasn't proven himself like Realmuto has. But he's so good. You don't see a lot of catchers like him, and of course the Dodgers have him. But, I mean, he's just a rare sight to see someone that's good. And then again, in another top 5 catcher, Yasmani Grandal.
Grandal did not have any at-bats this year, but when he played, he was insane.
I mean, Grandal honestly is a top 3 catcher. I mean, all these... If you look at the top 5 catchers, Realmuto, Smith, Grandal, Perez, Posey. They are on another level from, like, Contreras and Garver. Like, all 5 of these guys are actually, like, good offensive catchers, not just for a catcher, just good offensive players. And they're also all incredibly good at defense, except for Perez, who has now been more of a DH, but at a time was great. All 5 of these guys. Honestly, I think Rondell right now is the number 2 catcher. Salvi, I hate to put at number 4 because I really think he's great, but he's not as good as the other 3. Yan Gomes is underrated for sure. I think he's a good player.
Yeah, I think he is too.
And then lastly, our Cardinal, Yadier Molina. At this stage, I don't think I can give him. I mean, he's had such a long career, and his offense has not been incredible. And last year,
has been pretty bad.
Last year, his offense was bad. Yeah. However, he should be a Hall of Famer. He's 2 RBIs short of 1,000 RBIs.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
He hit 2,000 hits. He's got a shot at hitting 8,000 at-bats. Career WAR of 42.1. This is an incredible catcher. However, if you're looking at next year, but he's the Cardinal. You gotta give Yadier Molina good if you're a Cardinals fan.
And Yadier Molina,
if you're not a Cardinals fan, you're probably gonna hate me for that, but
yeah, and he is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I'll be kind of mad if he doesn't get Hall of Fame. I mean, look at that. Finishes up our catching tier list. Next up, we got left field, so yeah.